today's YouTube video, I'm giving you guys my top 5 meta loadouts you guys need to be using in Warzone. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like for the algorithm, subscribe with notifications turned on, and let's hop into this. All right, so the first gun we're taking a look at here today is going to be the Kastov 762, one of the hardest hitting assault rifles you guys can use in Warzone. First attachment is that TY-LR8 compensator for that horizontal recoil control. It is so much more difficult to control horizontal recoil as opposed to vertical. When it bounces around side to side, it makes your shots so much harder to be able to hit, so this is why we are having that on there. Now we're gonna go tune this here for a plus 0.70 and a plus 0.14. We're gonna go up here and run the cast 584mm barrel. This is gonna be the largest barrel in here. A lot of us are running the IG K30 there for a good while, but this is a really solid barrel to be able to run. We absolutely love this, so we're gonna have that on there. The tuning on that is gonna be a plus 0.37 and minus 0.23. Now to go down, run the FTAC Gripper 56 here, a tried and true underbarrel for running this gun, or just pretty much any assault rifle in the game, to be honest with you. I mean, you can run it on almost anything. The tuning is going to be a plus 0.65 and a minus 0.35. To go down, run of course the 40 round mag, because this thing comes with 30 round stock, and obviously 30 rounds is not acceptable, and even 40 is kind of like the downside to this gun. Apart from it having a little bit of kick, I mean it hits really hard, so it has some kick, but that in it also has a little bit of a smaller magazine size than I'd prefer. I prefer a 50 or a 60, but 40 is going to be entirely okay for this gun. And last but definitely not least, we're going to go up in here and run the AIM Op V4, which if you really want to, you can switch it out for something like the Corona Mini Pro. If you want to go for like a red dot sight, that's a really great option as well. Or you can scroll on down here a little bit farther and go for something like the SC Recharge, which is another great alternative to the AIM Op. It's basically the same sight, just looks a little bit different, and you're gonna get some great benefits out of it as well. The tuning here is gonna be a little bit personal preference, but I'll explain that here. So we have a negative 2.13 for aim down sight speed. So no matter what optic you choose, red dot, aim op, SC recharge, you want to tune it for ADS speed, and then closer far distance on the bottom is entirely up to you. On harder hitting, like higher recoil guns, I prefer to, push it out a little bit farther to give me that less visual recoil, because guns in this game have so much visual recoil as opposed to MW3. For you guys that played the beta, it was a lot of fun, but I prefer to push it farther out there just for that reason. But that's my full build there for the Kastov 762. Next up, we're going to be taking a look here at one of the most dominant SMGs in Warzone at the moment, apart from the ISO 9. That's going to be the MP5, aka the Lockman sub. First attachment is the Lockman Falcon 226, or the L38 Falcon 226mm barrel. My bad, but basically we get movement speed bonus and aim down sight speed bonus, which is great because we're trying to be super fast at close range. The tuning is going to be a minus 0.19, a plus 0.21. We're going to go in here and run the VLK Laser 7 MW, aim down sight speed, aiming stability, and of course sprint to fire speed. I've actually switched this out here previously for the 1MW quickfire laser, so that's up to you guys if you want to be able to do that one. It works out great, and also there's no con, so like people don't actually see the laser. It's not visible upon ADS, so that's kind of one of those things. I mean, I guess if you want to corner camp a little bit, I mean, maybe this will be good for you, but don't corner camp. That's for bums. The tuning on that is going to be minus 0.16 and minus 23.03. To go down and run the 40 round mag here. So a lot of people kind of switch between the 40 and the 50. For mobility's sake, we just run the 40. I have ran the 50, and I've tried to run like a no stock or something with it. I haven't tried the 50 out as much here with these more recent builds, just because the 40 works out so good. So I'd recommend to try the 40, but if you want, you can definitely go for the 50. You're just gonna be slowed down here a little bit more so. Now we're gonna go on back and run the Lockman TCG10 for the increase in recoil control. So this gun's gonna bounce around a little bit, and so this will perfectly help us dial in this build and make it so that you're not gonna experience really any recoil. It's gonna be very, very easy to build control, so that's what it does, increase our recoil control. The tuning is gonna be a minus 0.26 and a minus 0.36. And then we're gonna go up in here for our last attachment, the FT mobile stock, which is one of my favorite attachments ever since it got buffed. I have not taken this off my MP5 setup, so definitely recommend for you guys to run this. Peak mobility here, you guys are gonna absolutely love running it. The tuning is going to be all the way maxed out for that aim down sight speed and all the way maxed out for aim walking speed. One of the few attachments which you can actually fully max something out without screwing up the attachment. That's my full build there. The classic MP5, aka MP5. All right, next up, we're gonna be taking a look here at the one-shot shotgun, aka the Lockwood 300. So everyone knows that this gun is very broken in Warzone right now. And the reason they had to keep it broken is there's that beautiful Doom bundle that got brought into the store. It's like an 8-bit bundle, super crazy. Actually, one of the coolest bundles in the entire game. So I'd kind of recommend actually to go get that because you can use it in MW3, but they had to make it broken so they could sell that bundle. Is kind of my thought process behind it. So we're gonna take advantage of it being broken. First attachment though, stock in DB107 here. The tuning on that is gonna be a minus 0.86 and a minus 0.39. I'm gonna go up in here and run the Maduzek 812 barrel, increase in damage range, bullet velocity, recoil control, and a tighter pellet spread, which is all really great. When you're firing off both shots, the tighter pellet spread can be, the more chance that you're going to have that one-shot kill, because obviously, you know, you're firing both shots at once here with this thing, so you don't really have a second one to be able to take someone out. The tuning on that is to be a plus 0.16 and a plus 0.40. Kind of just another thing here. If you're going to be running a shotgun like this, maybe run like an SMG with it if you're playing Resurgence. I like to pair it with the ISO 9. That's kind of like my go-to. It's like a super mega mobility, close quarters. You know, I'm just an absolute machine with it. But we have the .G3P04 laser here. Hip recoil control, hip fire accuracy, and sprint to fire speed. Great things. Don't care if the laser is visible at the hip. It does not matter, because by the time they see you, they're probably down or dead. I mean, it's a one-shot shotgun. Takes people out incredibly fast. And tuning needs to be a plus 0.48 and a minus 14.81. Now we're going to go back here and run the heist stock mod for the increase in aim down sight speed, sprint to fire, movement speed, and hip recoil control. Just making this thing super fast, super mobile, and just easy to kind of bring it up, because the barrel and the, you know, muzzle have kind of slowed us down a little bit. This kind of helps speed us all up, which is really awesome. And then lastly, we happen to have the Maelstrom dual trigger, which is what makes this thing incredibly OP. This is the attachment. You have to get like 15 point blanks and like shotgun kills. So if you haven't done that, definitely go do that before this thing actually gets patched. Who knows how long it's going to be really good for, but Maelstrom dual trigger is going to be what is, you know, giving us that one-shot kill potential, which is really awesome. And there actually is no tuning on this, because I didn't figure out it was going to be better really either way. It doesn't tune out to be super great, so there's no tuning on that. You can leave it pretty much as is. Next up, we're going to be taking a look here at the M13B as our another assault rifle of choice. This one, the TR-76 Geist, the Cast-Off 7.62, you really can't go wrong, but I have talked about the TR-76 plenty, so I don't want to talk about that here. You guys can watch a previous top 5 or something like that, or one of my other videos if you want to go see that gun. But first attachment's the Komodo Heavy for the horizontal recoil control. As I said, with the Cast-Off 7.62, it is hard to control horizontal, easy to control vertical. Just got to pull down on the stick. It's not that complex. People tend to think you're hacking when you can hit your shots at distance. It's pull down on that stick, brother. It's not that hard. Anyways, but tuning is a plus 0.44 and a plus 0.15. I'm going to go throw on the 14 Bruin Echelon barrel, increase in damage range, bullet velocity, recoil control, and hip fire accuracy. All great things here to make this gun more effective. The tuning on that is to be a plus 0.40 and a plus 0.34. I'm going to go in here and throw on the SE Recharge, which is one of those sights, like I said, you can switch out for like the aim op. I really wouldn't recommend going for like a Corona Mini Pro on this. This doesn't feel like that type of gun. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm just kind of basically saying it's like, it's not the vibe for this. And it's not like there's any statistical disadvantage to running like, you know, a red dot sight over this, but I just don't like it, so I don't ever do it. The tuning is going to be a minus 2.33, and up close is going to be my maxed out for close distance, because this thing has very little recoil in comparison to the Cast-Off 7.62, so I like bringing it closer and makes it a little bit easier to be able to see at those longer distances. I mean, I got no visual recoil to deal with really, so it's no issue for me at all right there. Now we're going to go on down here, run the 60 round mag, because I'm a 60 round mag kind of guy. 45 is just not, you know, sufficient on this gun to keep it a stack with y'all. It really isn't. You got to go for that 60. High fire rate makes your long range gun. You're going to be taking on trios and quads, normally speaking. Maybe so if you're playing solos, maybe 45, but otherwise 60 is going to be the way to go. And then last but definitely not least, we have the 5.56 high velocity rounds, which kind of is weird that these make your recoil better than having an actual underbarrel, which is odd, and you get more bullet velocity to go with it. The tuning on that is going to be a minus 0.45 and a minus 3.48. And that is my full build there for the M13B. Last but definitely not least, we're going to be taking a look at the ISO 9. Since I talked about it, figured I'd have to show you guys a build here for this gun. It's my favorite SMG to use right now. I just wish the iron sights were a little bit better, because it's another ISO variant. I was hoping they'd be better, but they're really not. Anyways, the 70X Raptor V2 barrel is that, you know, of course, our barrel of choice, ADS speed, movement speed, and hip recoil control. This is an incredibly low to virtually no recoil gun, which is awesome. The tuning on that is going to be a minus 0.31 and a plus 0.40. We're going to go throw on the VLK Laser 7 MW, ADS speed, aiming stability, and of course sprint to fire speed. All great things here. The tuning on that is going to be a minus 0.19 and minus 29.61. Now we're going to go throw on the 50 round drum here. So the ISO 45, of course, comes with a 45 round mag. This comes with a 50. So we have 5 extra rounds, and it pretty much has like a faster, if not better, TTK than the 45. So you should always use this over the ISO 45. If you're picking them between the two, always go for this one. Now we're going to go on back here on the EXP Shear, sprint to fire speed, and aim down sight speed. Great stuff. And the tuning on that is going to be minus 0.77 and minus 0.35. And of course, our last attachment here is the Res 2 stock. So sprint speed, crouch movement speed, aim locking speed, and aim down sight speed, making us super unbelievably mobile. That's incredible. We absolutely love it. The chinning is going to be a -2.58 and a -0.62, and that is going to conclude my top 5. Y'all enjoyed? Be sure to give it a like, subscribe, so notifications turned on, and of course, check out this other video on screen, and I'll see you guys all next time.